I'm Karolina. I'm one of the osteos here at the Well Health Centre, and I'm here to talk to you about plantar fasciitis. Plantar fasciitis is inflammation of the plantar fascia, which is a connective tissue at the bottom of the foot. It's really common, can be really painful, and often chronic in a lot of people. Most people say that it comes on gradually for them, and then all of a sudden it will become severe pain that might limit you from the activities that you might want to do. Factors that might predispose you to plantar fasciitis might be flat-footedness, might be poor footwear for a long time, might be carrying excess weight, increased load, i.e. taking up running or increasing your running quickly or walking quickly without proper rehab. Even pregnancy can predispose you to it. The reason why it hurts is because plantar fascia is such a crucial structure. It provides tension and dynamic stability into the bottom of the foot. So without it, your body really wants you to, get it well as soon as possible. So first thing that most people report when they do have plantar fasciitis pain is their first few steps in the morning getting out of bed is really painful. So what we want to do is preempt that by warming up our foot before we actually take our first step. So coming out of bed, you just want to pop your foot onto your knee and you just want to give your foot a bit of a massage. So starting to stretch it outwards and really spending the time to sort of open things up. Then you can flex the foot back, trying to get a nice big stretch. And spend a little bit of time just warming up your foot for that first step. Plantar fasciitis can affect one foot, can affect both. I think with any of this stuff, it's always good to sort of do a little bit of loosening for both. A bit more of a massage. And we'll do the other side too. Bit of foot love in the morning. Or also suggest maybe taking a warm shower in the morning if you don't already do so, just to sort of help warm up the feet, get them ready for the day ahead. Bit of foot love. What we'll do next is we're just going to grab a TheraBand or a towel or just anything to get your hands off. Sometimes even a yoga strap might work a trick, but I've got a quite tense TheraBand here. I'm just going to pop it under the ball of the foot and we're just going to stretch it out that way. Bit of a calf stretch as well, but this again you can do just on the side of your bed. I'm trying any new habit. We want to sort of leave props or leave reminders in areas that you're going to be. So on your bedside table, having a little bit of TheraBand or a towel or something like that to do these sorts of stretches would be good. And we'll do the other side as well. So I've just got it under the ball of the foot like that, and I'm just going to stretch it out. So another really important structure when it comes to the plantar fascia is the calf. So if there's too much tension in the calf, it'll often lead to adverse tension into the plantar fascia. And certainly when you're trying to recover from this condition, we want to sort of make sure that the calves are as loose as possible. So what we'll do is, we're going to lean against the wall. I'm going to use this chair just for demonstration purposes. We're just going to bring this up quite close to it, and you want to sort of lean into it, trying to get a nice big stretch through the bottom half of the calf. I'm using a chair just so that I can show you what we're doing, but otherwise I'll just use the wall. I think I'm going to do the same through the other side, evening up. So this is stretching the soleus, which is the muscle sort of at the bottom half of the calf, which is very needed for good foot health. All right, next we're going to stretch the calf out a little bit more. So I'm going to use a box. For you at home, you can just use a step. Sometimes the first step into your house can work pretty well. I might actually give myself a bit of support. So holding onto something, you just want to hang off or step on the step. You want to let your calf or your heel hang off, and you just want to find a big stretch through the calf there. So any good stretch, you want to hold for at least 15 seconds. This one I quite like to play with, so I maybe will change directions a little bit. So I'm slightly turning my heel inwards, getting slightly different muscle fibers into the calf. And to the other side. And naturally this will get better as you go. So generally if you've got plantar fascia pain, it might be quite stiff in the calf. So just be kind to yourself, just listen to your body as far as should feel like a stretch, not pain. There's definitely a difference. And And lastly, we're just going to use a massage ball. So these you can pick up from sports shops. You can pick them up from our office here. They're about $10. It's just a nice spiky ball. Nice little spikes to it, big or small. It doesn't really matter for this exercise. So you want to grab it, pop it on the floor, maybe give yourself something to lean against, and you just want to start to roll the foot out. So what I'm aiming to do is going up and down the foot. First couple times you do this, this might be a bit intense, particularly if your feet really are crying out with plantar fascia pain. Good to start off with maybe a tennis ball or something just a little bit softer, just to sort of get your body used to it. You should find after the first couple of goes, it should slowly start to melt down, particularly if you've done all the stretches I've asked you to do beforehand. So my technique is I try and count to maybe 20 or 30 with this, just to make sure that we're doing a sufficient amount. Some people just use it. If you're going to do it, you want to do it properly, hey? Good. So nice. A bit of reflexology. Beautiful thing to do in the morning for your nervous system. Good. We'll do the other side. So up and down. So like any connective tissues, you might find there's some tighter spots in there, a bit of yuckiness, so we're just trying to get that all out. It's also trying to encourage the movement of inflammation and trying to encourage the restoration of healthy blood flow into tissues that might need it. Good. Another one that I quite like to do is I pop my heel onto the floor. I'm popping the ball of the foot onto the ball, and we're just going to go left, right. So maybe envisaging yourself a big windscreen wiper. And essentially the aim of the game here is we're going to try and stretch out all the little bones that make up your feet, making sure there's plenty of give there so the plantar fascia doesn't really have to work that hard in the first place. And we'll share the love, we'll do both sides. This one's quite nice to do even if you've been wearing thongs all day, or if you feel like you've done a little bit of a naughty on your feet that might egg it on. Just pay it back, show your feet some love. Good. And then from here, what I personally would do is start to work on some rehab that maybe you need, that maybe predisposed you to the plantar fascia pain in the first place. So best stop here is to talk to either your osteo or a healthcare practitioner, podiatrist, anybody like that. They can direct you towards maybe factors in the lower limb or some weaknesses or imbalances that might have predisposed you. So it might be a little bit of glute work, calf strength, feet strength, lots of different things like that. The other things I'll talk about is maybe speaking to a podiatrist if this does continue for a long time, particularly if you've got flat-footedness or something that maybe, feet changes that are harder to control. The use of an orthotic can be really helpful. Some strength training might be helpful. And the key here is making sure that you're consistent. Plantar fascia pain is unfortunately something that we would call a chronic condition. So even if it's really well managed, even if you're doing all the right things, it can take often to 6 to 8 weeks, if not longer, for it to get better. So, and the compliance factor is really important. So making sure you give yourself your props, leave your massage ball, leave your TheraBand lying around your house so that you're constantly prompted to do it. Doing these exercises at least once, if not a few times a day, is all going to lead to better outcomes. Any feedback or any questions is warmly welcome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.